everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam and today we are going over my TBR game. It's been a while. I don't think I filmed this since February, so it's been a little while. No, I don't actually want to talk about my old TBRs because I don't think I've actually touched them at all. We're going to try and make May my redemption month. We're going to try and get back on track, get onto the TBRs, get things read. If you're unfamiliar with the amazing, incredible, one of my favorites of each year, Readathon, Escape the Readathon, hosted by Books with Lexi, I will have everything in the description for you down below. But I've been honored to be a part of the team of the Game Masters, who are just causing chaos and trying to keep all of the crew's guests trapped here forever as long as possible, and that's my task. So I'm going to try and read as much as I can against all of the teams. So this TBR is going to be hopefully helpful towards the prompts that there are. The way that it works basically is there's different rooms that the teams have to read certain prompts to unlock those rooms. Once they get inside, there's different games that have different prompts, but you don't know which prompt is the correct prompt that's going to unlock and get you out of the room and move on to the next. I get to read against that. So whatever team I'm reading against, I get to basically try and sabotage them as best I can. So that's what I'm going to be doing all month of May. Hopefully this TBR will be nice and easy for me and I can fly through all of these. I have been getting out of my reading slump now that work is not so hectic and chaotic and busy and crazy, and I'm definitely getting more read. I've really gone off the deep end the last 2 weeks. I've been reading a lot. So look out, everybody. I'm coming for your team. But with that said, let us jump in. This is my TBR game. This is Biblius, the TBR game inspired by the Disney Villainous franchise, one of my favorite board games. I created all of these cards myself with different prompts. We're going to be taking a punishment or two because I have not finished my previous TBRs. I think we're going to take 2 because I'm crazy and it feels deserved. I had basically 2 months to read my past TBR from February and I just didn't do that. Let's just jump right in. Let's just get started. Let's just do this. Hopefully I'm not too out of practice and I remember how to play my own game. The first thing I'm going to do is draw my punishment cards. Okay, the first one we have is read the oldest book on your TBR. Okay, so for this first punishment of oldest book on my TBR, we're gonna call it a little loosey-goosey with the rules, but this has been on my TBR for a long time. Basically, my book collection really started in high school when I was probably a junior, maybe a sophomore. My mom gifted me an Owl Crate subscription, which I've recently talked about in my last video, so I won't go too in-depth, you don't care. I have Mirage by Samaya Dodd, I hope that's correct, and I haven't read this, and so now what better time to try and pick this up. I don't know anything about this. I haven't heard reviews. This came out in 2018. She's a very pretty, shiny edition. I have always been drawn to the title. It's like, you know, it's been on my TBR for quite a while, so that fear kind of ramps up when something's been sitting there for so long. You start making different perceptions in your head about if it's going to be good or not, but this is one that I've always looked at and said, I really do want to read that. I do think it's going to be good. This seems to be following, I think this book might have a little bit of the author written within it. This is following a poet, and she dreams to travel and be an adventurer, but she gets kidnapped by a regime, taken in secret to the royal palace, where she discovers that she looks nearly identical to the princess. And it seems kind of like a princess swap situation where she has to take place of the lookalike princess, and, you know, whatever is going to ensue. There's a fiance, there's interesting things. This author is passionate about Arabic poetry, and this is her debut novel, so she's probably written more stuff since 2018, but American Heritage and Pacific Islander Month is happening in the month of May, so the more Arab and just Asian in general books I can get on my TBR, the better. I will shout out Read with Cindy, or I guess With Cindy is just her channel, but reading wise, Read with Cindy, it's with Cindy. Anyway, she hosts the Asian readathon every month. There's usually 5 prompts. You can double up or just try and read 5 books, but typically the goal is to read of different Asian ethnicities instead of just sticking to one, so not just reading only Japanese authors, for example. So this is gonna go on the TBR for my punishment. It's a little bit short, so I'm okay with this. I think this is definitely doable. And then we have the next punishment, which is going to be to play another round. Okay, adding an extra book onto the TBR isn't so bad, and I can definitely handle just adding one more. I normally do 5 rounds, but I will do 6 in this case. But now that I have done my punishments, let's start by drawing my hand up to 4. These are the cards that I can pick from throughout the game and play. So first one we have something your pet would like. Perfect. Okay, the next one is read a book you think will be comforting. Okay. Next up in my hand we have read a book with a weapon on the cover. And then finally we have a new series. So with my little cactus guy, I'm going to move 1 space over. I'm going to collect some tokens. Tokens are basically a reward system for myself. If I don't completely mess up on my TBRs, I can collect tokens throughout the game, and once I get to 20, I can buy a book. Do I stick to that? Not very well, but hey, we're trying. So now on this space I can play one of the cards in my hand, and I think the first one that I'm going to play is to read something my pet would like. I will be including my pets in an upcoming video, so this is just kind of a perfect thing, but now I also have to decide what I think that would be. Oh no, I didn't think this through. Oh no. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I guess we're just gonna do it. I don't know why I didn't think of this first, so I'm gonna put iron gold on for this. Yeah, it's chunky. This is a nearly 600-page fantasy, but I am doing a Red Rising series read-along on my channel this year, and this is the next one. We just finished Morningstar. I just did the live show, so now we have to move on to the next. This is going to be like the first 3 books were kind of a concluding arc for the series, and now we're moving on to the next one. This is going to have multi-POV. I think it's going to talk a lot more about the society and where we're going to go from where we left off. Red Rising is a dystopian sci-fi series all about Darrow, who is a red, and he is on the journey of becoming a gold and transforming to basically infiltrate the hierarchy and participate in what golds typically do to try and destroy them from the inside out. I have really enjoyed the series. I've been reading it with my friend Daphne and sometimes Eliza, and we've been having an absolute blast. The last book absolutely destroyed, ripped our souls out. It was so emotional and I sobbed. Now we get to move on, and I'm really excited for this. I'm really nervous about it too, but I've heard great things. Everybody loves it. I'm excited to have a fresh start within the series. I think this takes place a couple years in the future from where we left off, so I'm excited to catch up with everybody, see where they're at. The reason I picked this, I should mention, is I have a dog named Severo, who is named after a character in the Red Rising series. He is a howler. He is Severo Albargo. It just makes a lot of sense. He's a husky Australian Shepherd mix, and I think he would love the series, because it's where his name came from. Now I'm going to draw my hand back up to 4, and we have a 3-star average rating. Okay, I'm going to move my character over. Oh, I get to draw an effect there too. I forgot about these. Effect cards are just fun little activities that I can do throughout the month, so I have recreate a book cover. Fun. Okay, now I can move my character, my little cactus. We're going to just jump over here, take another token. I can play another card in my hand, and I think I'm going to play a book with a weapon on the cover. So for this next pick, I'm going to go with the Thrown in the Dark, which is the first book in the Villains and Virtues series by A.K. Caggiano. And this is a fun take on like your classic romantasy books. It's very fun and not very serious. It's basically following, I believe, a demon prince, and he is going to get revenge for what has happened to his father, and along the way, very early on, he stumbles across a bubbly blonde who is just trying to, you know, make ends meet and do her thing. It's taking a play on the classic Grumpy Sunshine. He's like this dark and brooding, everyone sucks, but maybe he'll learn to like the one. And she is just like, you know, your classic Sunshine. She's just happy-go-lucky and positive, and they kind of find themselves in a sticky situation. So I'm very excited. I've been wanting to finish and start really reading this for so long. It's one of those things. It's on Kindle Unlimited. The audiobooks are on Hoopla. I have started the process of reading them, and then like I just don't stick with it, and so I really need to just sit down and read it. I think because it's the instance of good narrators, but he talks so much faster than she does, so the audiobook speed isn't equal, and that kind of just drives me crazy sometimes. So that's been going on, but I would love to finish this. It's been on my TBR since I think last year. Like on my current reads, I'm like maybe 10 pages into it, so I just need to get to it. I just need to pick it up and finish it. Drawing my hand back up to 4, I can count 7. Where am I cutting? Subgenre, not recently read in the last 5 books. Okay, that might be tough. So I think I'm gonna move my character over, take another token, and I think I'm going to play a book you think will be comforting. Now, that could mean anything. That can mean a book that I think will be maybe on the cozier side, but also maybe familiar, something that I'm used to the world or the characters. For a book I think will be comforting, I'm going to stick with a familiar world, something I'm excited about, an anticipated release of mine that I got the ARC for, which is the Jessad Crown by Sarah Hesham. This is the sequel and final book in the duology for the Jessad Heir. I really love the Jessad Heir. I love the characters, I love the found family, I love the training. There's kind of a bit of a trial element. It's not super romantic-y, but it is definitely a pining relationship that will have your heart, and you'll be hoping for the best when it comes to these characters. I am really excited to see where we're gonna go from here. I do need to like refreshen a little bit what happened at the end of the Jessad Heir. I think I remember, but I might go back and like read the last couple of chapters before I jump into the arc, which I'm so thankful for. I'm so very excited to see how this is going to conclude, where we're going to go from here. I've been waiting like 2 years for this, so I cannot wait. I'm so excited. It's going to be great. It's going to be so good. What is the Jessad Heir about? Basically, as the title infers, we are following a lost heir who is just, you know, simply trying to get by and has magical secret powers, as all girls do. And basically she is doing her darndest, but eventually she gets caught a little bit and she gets entered into these trials. Basically each heir of the realms can pick one champion, they train, and then they all kind of compete against each other, and she has been chosen. And there's maybe a lot of training montages, maybe there's a lot of pining and like will they, won't they kind of romance. There's a great found family. I love the friends in this so much. I love just the atmosphere. Is it like a revolutionary, never been done before type of story? No, but it is Egyptian mythology based, and I do think that's really cool. So I will be getting to this. I'm so excited! That's gonna be so fun for me. Now I'm gonna draw my hand back up to 4. Listen to an audiobook. Perfect. That's all I've ever needed in life. Okay. Moving one space over, collecting 2 tokens. On the space I can take an effect card. I could have taken one earlier and I forgot. Some bookish art. Perfect. I need to update my shelf. That works really well. If you don't know, I on Instagram post like a blank shelf of all the books that I've read, and I hand draw all of the spines, and I need to update that for April. So perfect, wonderful, lovely, great. Okay, moving on. I'm going to play, honestly, listen to an audiobook, because that's mostly what I'll be doing like all month, is just listening to audiobooks. I'm gonna go with The Raven Scholar. I'm not sure who the author is. I saw the audiobook available on Libro FM and I snagged it, and I've heard good things so far. Not a lot of people have read it, I think just because I don't actually know if it's out yet, so maybe that's why people haven't read it. I think it might have come out in April though, so I'm really excited to get to this. I know that it is long, it is fantasy romance, and I hope that there's a education system of magic involved. And that's truly all I know. I saw, I think Carrie Can Read on her Instagram, like, post a picture to her story being like, this is good so far, and I latched onto that and I went, yeah, I absolutely need to read that immediately. So I will be getting to that. I think the audiobook is like 24 hours long though, so this is gonna be like a journey to get through this month, but I want to read it so bad, and why not put it on my TBR? I'm just gonna move here. I'm gonna get my 3 tokens this time, and draw my hand back up to 4. I know what I'm doing. Getting excited. Randomized TBR. Ooh, that's fun. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play something safe and true, starting a new series. Do I need to do that? Not necessarily, but when am I not starting a series? So it kind of just makes sense. Like it just fits. It sounds right. Every book series that I want to start feels like such a commitment to say like, I'm for sure gonna read this thing, because they're all kind of chunky, a little big, and that scares me a little bit for this month because I'm trying to read more books than not, and that worries me a little bit. Am I gonna do it? I think I'm gonna be a little, I'm not gonna grab it though. Please don't ask me to grab the book. So what I think I'm gonna do is try and play it a little bit easier on myself. I'm gonna go with The Road of Bones by Demi Winters, I believe. And I do own this. It's on my book of the month shelf, which I have to crawl under a table for, so we're just not gonna try and do that right now. This is Viking, I believe, romantasy. I have the second book. I don't know if it's a duology or if it's gonna be like a longer series, but I've been meaning to get to it. I've been wanting to read it and pick it up. I have the audiobook currently, so it seems doable. It is a little chunky though, I will be honest with you, and that does have me a little bit nervous, but I think it'll be fine. I am excited for it. I have not heard a lot of reviews for it, but the few people I've seen talk about it have said positive things for the most part, so hopefully I will like it. Hopefully it will go well for me. When I'll fit it in, I'm not really sure. This is probably like the biggest gamble of all the books that I'm picking this month. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. It'll be great. For the final round, let me draw my hand back up to for a villainous, POV, or a morally gray character. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I do kind of know. Should I do it? I feel like I have to do it. Has this been on my TBR before? Yes, like a year ago. All of Our Demise by Amanda Foody and Christina Lynn Herman. This is an author duo who wrote the series. The first book is All of Us Villains, and I really enjoyed that one so much that I requested the audiobook arc from NetGalley for this back in 2022. I still haven't read it. She is a little bit on the chunkier side, but it is YA, so I think it'll be fine. I already have tabs in here just waiting. Like, this has been in the making for I think 3 years now, so I think it's finally time to shove it on my TBR again and really hold myself accountable for it. I loved the first book so much that I literally finished it, walked to the kitchen where my partner was, and retold him the entire story from beginning to end and everything crazy that happened. It really had me invested in all of the characters. This is a multi-POV tournament style situation where a bunch of families put forth one of their younger family members, and they all have to compete and battle against one another to have like the overall arcing magical big power abilities for the year. That makes a lot of sense, I'm sure, but that's what they're competing for. And they kind of, if I'm remembering correctly, keep in mind it's been a couple years, but if I remember correctly, they're all kind of starting to see the flaws within the system and are like feeling kind of let down because this is something that they've been striving towards their whole life, but now that it's happening, they kind of feel jaded about the experience their family's putting them through. And this is going to be the direct continuation. If I remember correctly, I think Katie Coulson did a video on the first book, so I can probably rewatch that instead of having to reread the book, but I'm really excited to be back in this world. I know that Katie did not enjoy it as much as I did, and that's alright. It'll be a funny time, and I'll hopefully remember a little bit more of what happened, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad to put this on my TBR. I'm glad to hopefully finally finish this. It's truly been way too long. Like, it's kind of shameful, so I'm glad that I'm picking up things that I just need to get read and hold myself a little bit accountable. You'll hold me a little bit accountable. The game punishments will hold me accountable. I'll have to read some of these for sure. So that is going to be, I think, everything for the official TBR. I grabbed it. She's chunkier than I remembered. This might be a mistake, but here we are. This is, what have I done? What have I done? So these are the, oh god, they're so chunky. They're so big. Oh no. So these are the 4 physical books that I'm putting on my TBR. Plus, I have on my Kindle the Jasad Air, and then I will be listening to the Raven Scholar, which is like 24 hours long. I didn't think this through at all. I don't know how I'm gonna get all this done in May, on top of like everything else that I'm also planning to already read and wanting to read and book clubs, and I thought this through incredibly well. These aren't thick at all. It's so fine. It'll be fun. It'll be great. I'll have a good time. You'll have a good time. We're going to participate in Escape the Readathon. We're going to read so many books. We're going to feel great about ourselves. I want to plug a couple of things really quickly. I will be participating in the Literally Dead book club per usual, and this month we'll be reading Bat Eater, and I think the longer title is like Bat Eater and other, yeah, mine just says Bat Eater. So maybe that's the UK title, but I think in America it's like Bat Eaters and Other Stories or something. I don't remember. Anywho, I'll be reading this for the Literally Dead book club, and this will also, I think, work for Asian readathon. I already mentioned that I will be continuing on with my Red Rising Saga read-along. I will also be, I think we tentatively have it on the books for the 25th, which is a Sunday. I will be featured on the Library Dwellers channel, and we're going to be reading Chouette as a buddy read for sprints. So that'll be a lot of fun. Buckle in, they're probably going to be long, but it's going to be a great time. I don't know a lot about Chouette, except for Richie really enjoys it, and it's following a woman who believes to be pregnant with an owl, and that's really all I know. I'm not sure if this is literary or if it's horror. I'm not really sure. I'm sure it's going to have a lot of critique, though, on motherhood and pregnancy, which is not my favorite thing to read about, so we'll see how it goes. I am excited, though, to continue buddy reading with friends. There's going to be a lot of sprints happening, so I will be trying to host at least 1 or 2 sprints on my channel so I can get through this crazy TBR, as you know. I'll be trying to participate in the Buzz Wordathon as well. And I think that's it for readathons happening in May that I'm participating in. So I think that's all the housekeeping. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I am a little nervous about this TBR. Like, that's a lot of books. Those are chunky, heavy books. So I'm hoping for the best. Truly. I hope that I get some 5 stars. I've had my first, I think I've had 2 5 stars in the month of April, which is the first of my year. So hopefully all the rest of these are 5 stars. I have nothing but bangers all month. It's going to be a great time. I can't wait to see you guys around. Make sure you join the Escape the Readathon Discord if you're going to be participating, and hang out in the sprints and support the other booktubers where you can. Everybody's links will be in Lexi's video as well as the Discord. Check everybody out. With that said, I'm gonna go edit this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in my next video. I think it'll be a reading vlog on Sunday. Goodbye!